Hey, Melissa. How are you
Hey,
doing?
good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. I just wanted to check back in with you from our trip that's already been 5 months ago. And I wanted to touch base. I wanted to understand, why did you decide to join Truly Italy on your experience?
Yeah, so I own a Pilates and yoga studio, and one of our studio values is community. So I wanted to create an experience that our community could participate in and that we could do as a group and that we could feel closer to each other throughout the travel. So that was
Yeah.
the main reason that I wanted to do it. I have always wanted to go to Italy as a participant in the
Mhm.
retreat. I knew that Katie would take care of everything. I didn't have to worry about where we were going to go and what we were going to eat. I knew that was all going to be in there. All I had
Mhm.
to do was show up and teach some classes.
Yeah. Were there any doubts or fears you had before joining the trip? Anything you thought about?
No, no doubts or fears, maybe just some uncertainty. But
Mm-hmm.
again, because I had talked to you, Katie,
Hmm.
about everything that was going to happen, about the plans for everything, I was assured that you had it all taken care of, that there was nothing that I needed to worry about, that I didn't
Hmm.
have doubts about where we were going and where we were staying and what we would
Yeah.
do.
Did you feel like our before the trip calls were helpful for both you and the other participants?
The before the trip calls were very helpful. I
Yeah.
loved that we got together and
Mhm.
we actually had dinner at an Italian restaurant,
Yeah.
and we all
That
got
was
to know each
nice.
other a little bit better there. And we
Yeah.
had also like little picky questions.
Sure.
So somebody would say, "Okay, this is probably a dumb question, but
Yeah.
ask it," and we'd all be like, "Oh yeah, I never thought of that."
Yeah.
So
It was helpful. Yeah.
yeah, helps.
That was a great thing we did.
Mhm.
How after now these 5 months, what is resonating still with you from the trip that you're still thinking about?
I'm still thinking about walking outside in the morning and
Mhm.
just seeing the mountains,
Mhm.
seeing a sunny day, seeing the pool, and
Mhm.
just knowing that we were in Italy.
Yeah.
So think about
It's
that.
still there. What was the number one thing that you loved the most about the week we spent in Tuscany?
Ooh, the number one thing about the week in Tuscany, if you force me to pick one thing,
You
I
could pick
would
a
say
couple.
okay, okay. But if you force me, I would say the hot springs. That was just such
Yeah.
a experience. I didn't I didn't really know what to expect, and it just felt like something I couldn't do anywhere else. That we were sharing this experience with
Yeah.
people around the world.
Mhm.
That'd be number
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Maybe if I had to say like two or three, just going into the restaurants and
Uh-huh.
just having a glass of wine and having delicious food.
Yeah.
All
So after you came back, how was the reception of from your participants and clients that didn't go to Italy? What were they saying? Like, are they interested? Are they willing? Or are the people that went on the trip, are they still talking about it?
Yeah, the people who went on the trip with us are still talking about it today
Yeah,
and
that's awesome.
mentioning the little things that we've done or that we
Hmm.
still have, some wine left to drink that we had
Yeah,
ordered and got shipped to us.
yeah,
The clients who didn't go, a lot of them saw my social media because it was taking
uh-huh.
pictures of food specifically
Yeah,
and the dogs. I loved seeing all the dogs
yeah.
in it. So a reel on the dogs. But just the pictures of the places that we went to, and people
Hmm.
just like, oh my gosh, that looked just so incredible.
Yeah.
Like doing yoga out there with that view.
Hmm. Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
That's amazing. That's amazing that they're still talking about it. So, in closing, why would you recommend using Truly Italy for your next trip, either for your studio or for yourself? Because
okay.
it is of a cost that we've talked about. So, what kinds of things why would you recommend us?
Okay, I would recommend Truly Italy. First, if you own a studio or you're a yoga instructor or Pilates instructor or a meditation, instructor or someone who wants to take a retreat, going with Truly Italy was super easy. It was relaxing for you because I know sometimes if you're running a retreat, you're doing everything and you just don't feel like you get to enjoy it at all. I felt like I had a vacation. Yes, I was working, but I did feel like I was taken care of and I had a great vacation as well. As somebody just going, yeah, it's expensive, of course. Anything worth it is going to be something that you've got to pay for. But if I
Mhm.
had broken it down and tried to do
Mhm.
all of that we did on my own, there's no way. I mean, it was an amazing deal if you look at it
Yeah.
that way. And it's, we said it's going to be a once in a lifetime experience, but we're going back. So,
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Melissa, thank you. Thank you so much for your words. And yeah, let's start planning. Next trip is coming up.
I get on it for 2026. Yin Yang
2026.
Pilates and Yoga and Truly Italy.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Thanks, Melissa.
Welcome. Thank you.